Sitting in the Bahamas with Justin Moore, you could do worse than this, my friends.
Yeah, I need to get about 150 gigs a year down here.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It was pretty cool last night. I got to go to the beach side. You put on a little private concert for our winners, and it was amazing. It's very surreal, though, to be surrounded by these beautiful Bahamian beaches, and then we've got the guitar, the man, the country music that we love. It seemed. It's not what you would have expected.
No, it's kind of weird, huh? It was weird in a good way. But
it was weird in a very good way.
Yeah, it was kind of surreal. That's what somebody was asking me. Is it surreal? Some of the places I played, yeah, like the Grand Ole Opry and you know, sold out arenas and that kind of stuff. But like this was different in its own way. You know, it's like, holy cow, this is my job.
You talked about playing the Grand Ole Opry, and actually during your set last night, you referenced a song you had written. Your father has waged a very brave battle against cancer.
My grandpa.
Grandfather, I'm sorry. A very brave battle against cancer, and inspired a song you actually got to sing with him in the audience?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I mean, everybody knows me as kind of the rough guy that don't show much emotion, that kind of stuff, and but yeah, it was pretty emotional. I got when I made my debut on the Opry, I sang this song that I'd written for him, and it's called Grandpa. And he was back. They were the pews on the back of the stage. He and actually my other grandpa were back there too. About 20 folks from my family were back there. But it was pretty special, man. It was one of those moments where, you know what, I could have a 20-year career, or I could be gone tomorrow, and nobody will ever take that right there away from me or him or anything like that. So it was pretty special.
Now, is this all family that's back in Arkansas?
Yep, they're all back home, man. All back in Arkansas, and I would still be there if I wasn't playing music. You know, it's kind of I left because I kind of had to do what I love. You know, it's funny how if I tell folks in Nashville or whatever, they're like, "Why would you ever want to go back there?" Because I tell people I want to move back there. And I'm like, you don't get it until, you know, unless you're from there, I guess. But I just miss it, man. I miss all the, you know, family stuff. I don't get to see my family as much as I used to, and miss hunting and fishing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I bet. Well, there's still some out there.
Oh yes, I think.
So, Small Town USA has really broken through in a big way for Justin Moore. With the success of that song, I'm guessing you've seen a change in your performances when people are singing the song back to you, and just the energy of the crowd?
Yeah, it's wild that you said that, because I've been telling people for the last week or two that over the past like 2 or 3 months, me and my band are just like, what happened here? Like it's just different in the last 2 or 3 months. I was talking to my manager the other day, and we were just discussing how cool it is. You know, I mean, it's cool when you go play a club now, and you don't have the built-in crowd. It's, you know, 1,000 people paid to come see you play, and there's not anything that makes you feel better than that right there. And when they're singing it back to you, and especially when a song like Small Town USA, I mean, that song came from me and an acoustic guitar sitting in a little room somewhere, you know. And it's pretty special. I thought when we put that song out, I thought, man, the only people who are gonna get this song is the people that grew up just like I did. And thank goodness I've been wrong. For whatever reason, all kinds of people have been able to relate to it, and that's really, really cool to me.
Absolutely. Well, so much of America is Small Town USA.
It's amazing, man, when you fly into these big cities, and you've been in them and I've been in them, and I mean, right before you land in like Chicago or all these big, huge, you know, cities, it's amazing how rural it is right before you get to the airport, you know, or where these major cities are. Yeah, it's, you know, it's everybody I've said is proud of where they're from, regardless, number one, if they want to admit it or not, and then two, how big or small it is, you know, so it's been cool to see.
Well, you know, one of the things, too, I think the song Small Town USA from Justin Moore, even if you're not from that town, it does speak to a simpler time, a simpler place.
You know, yeah, exactly, and I think everybody, with the state of our economy right now, everybody's working their rear ends off and struggling, But at the end of the day, if you can come home, you got a place to stay, and you got food on the table, I think everybody's pretty happy with what they got. You know, because it could always be worse. And I think it's kind of, that song has kind of evolved into a state of mind type thing. Small Town USA is, you know, more than just, okay, from a little bitty town here or there or whatever. So, you know, it's become more than what I even meant for it to be, which is pretty neat.
Well, for me, you know, having recently moved to Nashville, because our kids are 5, and we were looking for something. I mean, it's so funny. You would think that Nashville is the big city, and it would be, I guess, from your small town in Arkansas, Hot Springs. But having come from Los Angeles, Nashville is kind of small town USA,
Right.
by comparison.
Right. Well, it's cool. You know, like I said, a lot of people, whatever your take on a small or a big town is, everybody's been able to relate to it for that reason. You know, you, like you just said, coming from LA to Nashville, and that's your small town USA, if you will. And then for me, it's kind of where I grew up, and so it's been that's been the craziest thing, is to see how many different types of folks have related to it for different reasons. So.
One of the other things, they're giving us the rap sign, but one of the other things I wanted to say before we go is that you know, you mentioned that you're kind of known as the rough guy and all that kind of stuff, but there is actually, believe it or not, on Justin Moore's CD, there is a love song.
There is, man.
There's
I can't
one.
Believe it. I can't believe
Just
it.
one.
I was trying to make the only record in Nashville without
With
ever
no
putting a
love song.
and I didn't get away with it. But
Well, and a beautiful love song it is.
Well, thanks, man. I actually wrote that after I was trying to. I was probably trying to impress some girl, and I was playing her some music a few years ago, and all this rowdy beer drinking party music, and I was like, I wrote that. And then I play her another one, I wrote that too, and that's me singing. And she's like, okay, and I'm thinking, this is in the bag, and I was like, what do you think? She's like, yeah, it's good, it's really good. And I'm like, crap, that's my best stuff right there. And she said, well, I didn't hear a love song. And I was like, that's because I've never written one. And she's like, well, you need to write one. So I wrote that song, took it back to her, and I'm like, this is going to do it right here, son. And I was wrong. But
it didn't close the deal?
No, I got a good love song out of it.
Well, that's good. What's the title of the song again?
It's called Like There's No Tomorrow.
Like There's No Tomorrow Tonight.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, thanks, man.
It's an awesome song. All right, man. Justin, thank you so much for letting us hang with you in the Bahamas.
Man.
Justin Moore, Mr. Small Town USA on After Midnight.
Good
Thanks
to see
so
you,
much,
man.
Good to see you,
How
too.
you been? Good?
Really good, really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did I tell you, was it a fanfare or something, that I drove by what I thought was your house?
No.
Did I tell you?
No.
My producer, do you know Jeremy Stover?
I know of him, yeah.
Okay, that's who he's producing me, but do you live off of Hillsborough?
Yes.
On,
Timberwood.
yeah. I was going to his house. He lives like 2 houses down from me. And I saw that car, and I'm like, I bet that's...
Well, you should have come and knocked on the door.
I said, next time I will, I'll knock on
You
the
should,
door.
absolutely.
He
Man.
lives like right down in the corner.
Yeah, I know,
Like
over
your
towards
house is
Chickering.
right at the T,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Like if you turn left, he lives right there.
And it's down over toward Tim and Faith's.
Oh, do they live down
Off
there
Chickering,
too?
yeah.
I love that area, man.
Oh,
Because it's
except for
out
the
of
ticks.
town, but it's not out of town. You know what I mean?
the ticks and the chiggers.
Really?
I can do without that.
They said they have a lot of deer in their gardens.
We have a ton of deer, and the dogs, since we have 5 dogs, they go freaking crazy.